Alright friends, doing another video on none other than you know who, Jason Blaha, Strength and Fitness. Why exercise science studies on lifting are not held to be same standard of peer review. Why exercise science studies on lifting are not held. I don't know about lifting, but I do know they talk about muscle. I don't know about lifting a weight. They do talk sometimes about moving weights around or exercise using these things. But okay, let's review this video.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would kind of answer a question that came up. I had a very regular poster ask me, and obviously this will be up in a couple weeks after he asked it. In one of my other videos, he said, why aren't exercise science studies held to the same accountability of peer review as other sciences are? And why does that make it kind of a joke?
I don't know what they mean by that. There's lots of science studies out there on exercise. What are you talking about?
And it's a practicality issue, right? In order to do good science, you need money, okay? And let's be honest, we already know how to get people muscle mass. We really do. There's no one is interested.
Yeah, it's really easy. Food gets you muscle mass. If you don't have money and you can't afford to buy food, then you can't afford to build your body. You can't build your body. It's really simple. If you can't eat a certain amount of really quality food, then you can't build your body. That's why people opt for all these fake ways of doing it, artificial ways of building artificial muscles, bulk diets, clean bulking, getting recomping, getting lean, doing all these weird things like blood restriction, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, inflammatory response, a lactic acid buildup, or gravitational loading, unloading, isometrics are going to build me. An isometric is not going to build you if you don't have any food. See what I mean? You're not going to build any real muscle if you don't have any food, real food to build real muscle. Yeah, because protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to build that muscle. You ain't going to build it if you're not exceeding that. So yeah, you need horrendous amounts. Why do you need that? Because the window for success, again, in the real world, in nature, when you're really building real muscle, is short, very short. If you want to build your body. But again, you have to be, it's specific what you want to build. Do you want to use isometrics to build this type of muscle and bone, this mass from gravitational loading? I would say isometric is more like a gravitational loading, and then you under this weight for long periods of tension. Some people don't stay long enough under it. They go like 10 seconds. I actually stay under it sometimes. In the past, I would count to 200. I remember I used a calf machine. I'd put like about, I don't know, a couple of hundred on the top plates. And then of course the bottom part would be 300, the key. I key it in at 300. So probably, I don't know, it would be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 1,200 pounds. You know what I mean? 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I don't know, 900 pounds on top, 300 at the bottom, something like that, like 1,200 pounds. And you sit under 1,200 pounds under immense pressure. That is an isometric type of exercise. You're not really moving. Now, is squat isometric? Yes, squat is isometric, but you're moving. But the weight is not being lowered, dropped, and picked up again. It's constant tension on your body. So that would be isometric, yes. Even a bench press could be considered isometric. It's isometric, but it's eccentric at the same time, eccentric, concentric. You understand me? Because it's moving, it's not dropping and lifting, unlike deadlifting. Deadlifting is dropping and lifting and dropping. You're actually pulling. You're trying to pull it up in the air. All right, let's watch this.
In spending $20 million funding a study, there's very limited grant dollars. And beyond a very, very tiny number of people, there's no interest in maximizing muscle mass. The health benefits and even medical
doctors. They are. Yes, there is. It's not about maximizing muscle mass. They have run several tests to see what these outcomes are. I have them. They're on my community section. I post them all the time on my old channel, I had much more. I posted dozens. That's why I'm able to defeat these fake gurus like Blaha and Jeff Nippert and Omar Yusuf and all these Alpha Destiny people, Michael Hearn and all these other fake gurus and everybody else that's out there. I can literally destroy them with all the information. I just throw it at them, and they can. How are they going to dispute it? What are they going to say? Oh yeah, MND size has a ceiling limit. Oh, furthest growth. Oh yeah, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. Oh okay, yeah, repeat about effect. No more damage. Okay, See what I mean? It's not hard to crush these people with reports. Oh, trained people, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Oh okay. Oh yeah, this is what's happening.
Doctors would advise.
I even got one on inflammation. You're lifting and you're building inflammatory response. You're getting inflammaging muscles.
For gaining muscle are easy to obtain. You could literally just go do starting strength or strong lifts, and that's it. You get all the health benefits you would ever need from just a health perspective. Cancer.
You get no health benefits from lifting or doing anything. This is bullshit. He's lying to you. Name me one health benefit of exercising, doing exercise. Name me a health. I didn't say you getting better at doing these things. I said a health benefit.
Reduction, diabetes, cardiovascular risk, sarcopenia, all that stuff. So why do we need further?
Sarcopenia and all these things and whatever, they're happening because you are eating an unnatural diet and doing unnatural things to yourself. See what I mean? Those are not health benefits. I say, name me one health benefit. He's going to say, well, you're going to lift a heavy weight and you're going to wear off sarcopenia. You're not wearing off sarcopenia. You're still old. You're not doing anything. That isn't a health benefit. Good cripies.
Studies, it's already there. There's already personal trainers. There's coaches with tons of experience you can hire. And quite frankly, we already know how to get people very jacked. There's no interest. No one has any financial interest or benefit in funding that type of research. They just don't. So accordingly, the grant dollars are very, very low. And that makes it problematic from a science perspective. I mean, we can claim all we want. Well, we've got tons of scientific evidence for these different modalities for training. But do we really? Because it's not.
Yes, there is. I proved it. You know, this guy, I know he's watching my videos, that he's trying to rebuttal them. All the scientific proof that I put. That's why he had my he couldn't wait to take my channel down because I was gaining traction and my old channel was practically reaching 3,000 and I had my community section was filled with reports, bro. I mean, filled on just about everything that had to do with different modalities, how muscles are growing. I had everything in there. There was stacks in there. And believe me, if you were on the net, you probably saw a report. That's how people found me, most likely. A lot of people, they found me because I kept posting reports in the community section.
Good evidence. And that's kind of the point I made. It's 19 people, 20 people in a non-double-blind study. Okay, that would be considered horrific. That would not be considered good evidence for any other field of science. But it is only held to a lower standard because there literally is no research that is good enough. There's just not enough. What do we mean? Like, what would be good research? Okay, an idea to put in perspective. If we wanted to really study hypertrophy, what would we be doing? Well, we would take groups of people and we would do a study comparing two variables with.
Yeah, you test for every type of hypertrophy. Water can create hypertrophy. Glycogen can create that. Myofibrillar growth can create that. Protein can create that. A whole bunch of things. Swelling can create hypertrophy. Or lactic acid can create it. Blood restriction, blood flow restriction. I mean, there's so many ways to create hypertrophy. The question is, which one do you want to create? See what I mean? You want to create artificial muscle growth, or do you want to create something real? It's all relative.
500 to 1,000 people.
But again, it has to be, the training has to be geared towards that. It has to be specific to to create that, it has to be specific. Look, if you want to just get better at lifting, you do powerlifting. Okay? Now, can you actually build some muscle in powerlifting? Well, yeah, your training has to be geared towards that and not coming in chronically. If we know that lifting so heavy, such heavy weight will cause fiber splitting, and it can even happen with bodybuilders. But if it were to happen, like you get fiber splitting in powerlifting from lifting astronomically heavy weights, heavier and heavier, you get some fiber splitting. Then if the science tells you you need to take off a time period for repair and remodeling, then you need to do that. If you don't, then you get a degeneration. That's it. It's really simple, bro. When it comes to anything that is actually truly damaged in your body, I mean real damage, like that type, like, fiber splitting, micro damages, they need to go through a time course. They call it a time course, a repair and a remodeling. Boom. Yeah, man, that's just how it works. Cripes. Even if you have oxidative stress, you chronic lifters are getting oxidative, hypoxia damage and all this, you still need some time off to recover from that. That's why they say we recover faster from what? Hypoxia and oxidative stress. You can come back and keep lifting chronically like an idiot, like a gym bro, for no reason.
It would probably need to be 5 or 6 months long to really get a large enough distinction in muscle growth. Plus, since novices gain muscle so easy and they start from different varied points, it's very hard to use them for muscle growth studies. Why?
What is he talking about? They do weeks, they do months even. They do long studies. It's fucking ridiculous.
Because they're not all starting kind of from the same point, untrained.
What if you go in and you build some muscle, but it's microscopic? You can't really see it. In order to see it, you need to mass up those cells. You need to mass them up. How do you mass them up? Like real, like protein cells. How do you mass them up? These cells, these muscle cells, how do you mass them up? Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. Okay. Now, can you add to the mass like sarcoplasmic? What is that? Fluid. So if fluid is going into the muscle, blowing up the muscle, can you see that muscle? Yeah, you can see it obviously looks bigger. See what I mean? But one what you would say is real, the other one is artificial. Which one is artificial? Sarcoplasmic. Which one is real? Well, the protein synthesis exceeds this breakdown, the mass, the protein. You built up proteins as opposed to sarcoplasmic, something fake, a herbivore diet, which is not your diet.
Look at the average person.
You're eating artificial food to create artificial muscles. Listen to this. You're made up of protein and these micronutrients. They come in animal form. You eat animal meat, whatever, animal products. You're made up of that. So you eat that and that's what you build. It's real. Now, you eat something that's artificial, man-made, artificial, engineered, whatever, fruits, vegetables, blah, 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 these processed foods, whatever, carbohydrates, yada, yada, yada. That is not your natural diet, so it's artificial. So if you eat an artificial diet, you will create artificial muscles called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. It's really simple, man. And even if you are eating protein and you still are eating artificial, you'll still build that fake shit. You may get some proteins, I can't tell you. You eat some animal products, but they are anti-nutrient. These artificial products.
Walking around who doesn't lift. Notice that the amount of muscle they have and strength varies enormously.
Of course it does. The amount of muscle mass you have, if it's sarcoplasmic, your strength will vary. You'll be weaker than a guy who actually built real muscle. And here's another thing. Let's say a power lifter, so he lifts a heavy weight. He can lift 900 pounds, but this arm wrestler cannot lift 900 pounds off the floor. He puts his arm on a table, the power lifter and the arm wrestler. And the arm wrestler beats the power lifter again and again and again. Why? Because he caused structural damages, ultra-structural damages to his arm repetitively. So it's going to be physically stronger. You understand me? It could take more stress. Yeah. It'll take a lot to put his arm down. And the power lifter, He never caused any ultra-structural injuries or structural injuries to his arm to build it physically stronger. What he did was he got good at lifting a heavy weight. He got androgen receptor strength, a molecule like a woman who picks up a car off her son. She gets an influx of this, what do you call it? That hormone, adrenaline. Sorry. She gets an influx of adrenaline and she's able to lift a 6,000-pound car off her son. See what I mean? Now, is she strong? Is she stronger than you? Is she strong? No, it's temporary and it's molecule strength. It isn't based on structural strength. You understand me? Yeah. All right, let's keep watching this.
Are you living in Canada and struggling to repulse?
Varies enormously. So some of them are starting at a much higher starting place than others. It's kind of problematic. There's a lot. It's very difficult to get them into groups that we can use. Plus, novices gain muscle pretty quick. It's not that.
Novices gain muscle pretty quick. Novices, I don't know about novices gaining muscle pretty quick. I know that everybody that starts, they gain muscle right away because they're untrained. A skater, he gets muscle on his legs when he first comes in. Even a swimmer, a rock climber, a weightlifter, a bodybuilder, a power lifter, whoever, strongman, Olympic lifter, I don't know, even a gymnast, they all get structural damage in the beginning, but they don't get it anymore because it's resilient now from getting damaged, any more damage. But you want to use this to get bigger, this type of modality, these structural damages to get your body bigger so that the progenitor can donate some of its nuclei so it can support further growth. See what I mean? Because it's reached the ceiling limit during hypertrophy. That hypertrophy. But sarcoplasmic hasn't really reached the ceiling limit. It reaches the ceiling limit when it just simply, you just get to a certain point, you just can't get any bigger. The muscle can't blow up like a penis pump. The penis can only blow up so much with the penis pump. At some point it stops because it can't go any further unless you want it to bust and explode and die. You understand me? Like your heart. Your heart can only get so big. If it gets too big, it can explode. You get what they call a heart attack. You understand me? Explode and die. Yeah.
Useful in data. We already know how to get gains in them fast. So if we really wanted to make it great, what would we have to do? We'd need experienced lifters. Where are you going to find 1,000 experienced lifters willing to do a study? You're not. And keep in mind the funding we're talking about. Right? So if you use novices, we really would need 1,000 people. And we would need to go through and make sure that we really had an even distribution of starting points, meaning a very even distribution in things like height, weight, gender, ethnicity, all of it. We have to ensure an even distribution of the starting points. In other words, you can't have one side stacked with more 6'3" guys starting at who are 200 pounds starting out. You can't have one group have 3 times as many of those as another. So you really do need a very even distribution.
They try to make it as evenly as possible. I've read so many reports. I don't even know where the rest are. I gotta find more of them. Jesus. This is ridiculous.
Something like 500 people in each variable group. Hey, that's what you have to have. You need 1,000 people. All right. Then you need it all double blinded with double checks. In other words, the researchers who are conducting the MRIs to look at the hypertrophy can't know what groups they're looking at, because that's been noted that can create bias because there is some interpretation of their readings.
This isn't the food industry. There's gonna be some bias there where people are getting paid off. They're simply just doing tests on it to find out.
Okay, that has been noted by researchers in this. It's not a straightforward, hey, a computer tells you no. They're interpreting a little bit of stuff. Every bolt that it's torqued, every measurement that is taken with a micrometer, and you would probably want two separate researchers to measure each person. Each time you go through the testing of these 1,000 people.
This is what I would call an isometric movement, because I was talking with somebody a bit ago. Comment section. This I consider squat an isometric movement. You can even consider a flat bench isometric, but you are moving up and down, but the bar is not going anywhere. The stress is still on your body. It's on your back. It's not like how should I put it? Deadlifting, where you're picking up the weight and dropping it. You're simply pulling it up in the air. Really, you're pulling is what you're doing. When it comes to deadlifting, people are pulling. They're pulling and then dropping. That's what they're doing. They're not doing it with how should I put it? Doing it slow. They're doing it rapidly fast. That's the whole point. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot more stress when it comes to isometric. You can stand still under the bar and count to whatever. I think 10 seconds isn't enough, but whatever, man. There's some people, they think 10 seconds holding the weight up or doing this or whatever, standing still. I usually stand under some weight, a lot of weight, and I count to 200. Or I try to go at least to 200 or whatever. I try to count as high as I can until I can't take the stress anymore. Yeah, that's what I usually do. And you get stronger. How do you get stronger through isometric? Well, isometric, what it does is it releases these chemicals. Chemicals are released. They're called strength chemicals, and they infiltrate your body. They infiltrate the myofibrillars, making them stronger, and also giving you some androgen receptors and a bunch of other things. There is some structural damage there as well. There's stress put on the frame. It's what they call gravitational loading. It's a type of gravitational loading, definitely. And yeah, there's an expanding gravitational loading, unloading, expansion, that kind of thing. You're disrupting the cells. You're disrupting these cells. They're getting stressed, and they think something abnormal is happening, and they'll compensate you with these chemicals. They make you pretty strong. And there could be some growth there, because it'll have to, in the beginning, there's a little bit of growth there, because they'll take what you have in your body, what you're eating, because they have to make you a bit stronger. But they don't make you that much more stronger, trust me. Yeah. Unless, of course, you put more load on you, I don't know, for more adaptations.
Over the course of the study, because you probably want to do the testing at regular intervals. All right. I think people we draw way too large conclusions from the data that we have, and lifters and bodybuilders have done for decades to be our primary sufficient scientific data to make these sweeping statements. That's the issue.
There are plenty, and it's in my community section, and there's even more. You can read all the NCBI PubMed reports. They're endless, bro. They have studies. They come up with new studies. It's incredible. Right now, they just found out that meat starves cancer. Yeah, a new study just came out with that. There you go. Beef starves cancer. Yeah, gets rid of tumors. How about that, eh? Surprise.
Particularly if they do not match the observations of what we actually see.
Like I said, man, the exercise has no health benefits. What has health benefits is what you're eating, what's going in your body. Your body gets healthy from what it's eating. If you eat unhealthy food, then you'll be unhealthy. So how can lifting make you healthy if food is what makes you healthy, and food can make you unhealthy? Yeah, can make you sick. So if you're unhealthy, you go to the gym and you continue eating unhealthy food, are you getting healthier? Yes, damn you, man. This is the stupid mentality people have out there. It's ridiculous. It's crazy shit.
Based upon that, say that it's all useless. I think we can find some decent trends. I do have friends who say it's completely useless because of that. You can't draw anything meaningful. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think that we have to tread very, very lightly with it and put that in context when we are objectively looking at this stuff. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next.
Well, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps the algorithm for my friends. See you in the next one. Yeah, there are plenty of studies out there. Don't believe Blaha. He's been watching too many of my videos. He hated my channel because I post a lot of information so people can read it. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, man.